Good morning. Ted Brown at Blackwood Guitar Company in the nation's capital, Ottawa, Canada. This morning, I'm going to talk to you about the heart of your system. This is what really makes your guitar tick, the soundboard. Specifically, I'm going to talk to you about bracing and how important the proper bracing is in the carving in terms of tuning that soundboard. Let's just go over, you can see there's quite a bit going on here. Let's just go over what braces are under here. The main ones are the X brace in combination with the bridge plate. What those do is they resist all that pull, about 180 pounds of pull from the strings on the bridge, which will be placed here later. Without this structure, the whole top would just come up. Down below that in the lower bout, which is the where most of your sound really comes from, in the bottom of your guitar, are tone bars. Tone bar 1 and tone bar 2. And if you look at this point, I've roughed them out, they're scalloped. That's a choice I make. I like this style of tuning, and it works for me. Some people do it differently. Everybody has their opinion on that. Some small braces up here called finger braces. They just give you some lateral strength. Up at the top, you've got the transverse brace. A good meaty brace, about a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. Goes right across the guitar. And what this does is resists the pressure from your neck, which leans down very heavily on the soundboard. Here we've got what they call tongue depressors, for lack of a better word. They're just thin braces to help shore up the top end of your soundboard. We start out with the braces in square section. As you can see on my bench, I removed quite a bit of material already. The second phase, if you will, is to work those braces into shape and into cross section. I use asymmetrical bracing. So this one is shaped straight, this one is shaped in a dome, this one is shaped straight, and this one is shaped scalloped. This kind of looks like a goose. What this is all about is creating nodes and creating overtones. It's very important that we do two things. We want to keep the strength in the brace, but we want to make that brace very light, and in the end we want to get a certain musicality out of the top by carving the braces just right. So when I'm carving, I'll just clamp this down, and we've already roughed it out. I use this little plane. It's got this little ball here which fits in my hand, and the wee plane is about 1 inch long. I'll come down and I'll start carving this brace, and what I'm doing here is I'm carving in that triangular section, and we get very small shavings. The whole process of creating that section on all the braces takes me about 1 hour to 1.5 hours, so I can't show you the whole thing on the video, unfortunately. But what's important is getting it from rectangular section to a triangular section to reduce weight. The strength stays about the same, which is a nice feature. And then what I want to do is I want to very carefully carve each brace while tapping and listening. Now I'll talk to you about tapping. You just want to hang the soundboard like so, and I'll turn so you can see, and I'll tap where each brace is. You can hear 3 distinct sounds there even now. As I carve the braces, those become more and more distinct, and there's a point where you get a certain musicality, and this is where art and magic and experience all come in to know when your top is in tune. Again, you want to make these little nodes that create overtones and color in your music. I can't explain it any better than that. It takes time and takes experience. When you get it right, you'll be carving, and all of a sudden, bingo, that musicality comes out and the top starts to ring. Then you've got it right. One other brace, if you will, it's really just what we call a Superman shield. That's just a funny name for it. I learned this from my teaching master, Sergei Dijon, over in Quebec. You just add in an extra piece of spruce, so the thickness of the soundboard is double, right where the sound hole is. So that when you're playing, you can't tear this out. Great design feature. Thank you, Sergey. Another thing I'd like to mention about this top is it's torrefied, which means the top has been put in a kiln. They remove all the oxygen, heat it up very carefully, and dry it until such time as all of the resins have solidified. So you know how people say, oh, I love that old Martin sound. Well, the reason those old guitars sound great, or one of the reasons, is the resins have set and the guitar's played in. It's been vibrated for a long time. So torrefication gives us a jump these days, and really worth checking out. I like it. You've got to get somebody who knows what they're doing with the torrefication. If it's done wrong, you'll get cell collapse and the wood will literally turn to dust. Now, you don't have to worry about that as a player, because if the luthier's been able to put it together, it's okay. But I have run into overcooked wood where the cells literally collapse. Anyhow, I think that's it. What I'm going to do for the rest of this morning is continue to carve, continue to tap, and listen until it's just right. So, thanks for dropping by. Have a great week. Bye-bye.